Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. What I'm going to make today are some patriotic decor pieces since the 4th of July is just around the corner. I started with making these little firecrackers and then some little flag pillows and some little wooden flags made out of Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree. What I did is I got a package of these little flags on sticks from Michael's. I believe there was like 4 or 6, I think 6 in a package. I'm just taking them off the sticks. And then I'm going to have them so that either way that the pillow is facing, it's facing in the right direction. And then I'm just going to hot glue all of the edges. And what I do when I get to the 4th edge is I'll just leave a little space so that way I've got room to put the filling in the center. I sure hope everybody has a really nice 4th of July, a safe 4th of July, and a fun one. I think it's going to be low key for me this year, just nice and quiet. And there I'm just doing just a little bit on the 4th side, so I've got room to put my filling in. What I do, if you use a lot of filling for projects, I suggest the cheapest way to go about it is getting the big body pillows from either Target or Walmart. They run about $9 to $10 and you get so much filling inside of them. It's so much cheaper than going to the craft store or even Walmart in their sewing department and getting the filling that you need to stuff your items. I make a lot of memory bears and such, and that's how I get to keep the cost down, is I just go and buy body pillows and open it up and use all of the filling from inside. It's much, much cheaper. And I'm all for crafting on a dime. The cheapest way I can get by with it. Crafting, I certainly will try to share that with you. And then what I did is I wanted mine to be aged looking, so I have the Tim Holtz ink. And I'm just using a little dabbing sponge that I got from the Dollar Tree and just rubbing that on there to give it some age. And that's just up to you for preference. If you don't want it to be aged, then you certainly don't have to add the ink to it to make it look aged. It's just completely up to you and your preference. And there you go. It's got a little age. And the other side is just the original way it looked. And then I have a little basket I just bought from Goodwill to put those in. And then I made a tag out of some brown cardstock. I just cut it in the shape of a tag and then put 4th of July on there. Stamped it. Next are these little flags made out of the Jenga blocks. What I did is I took 3 Jenga blocks and glued those together. Then I have 3 rows of 2 Jenga blocks together, long ends glued together, and then 2 rows of 3 Jenga blocks glued together end to end, and that makes the shape of the little flag. And gluing wood together, the best glue I have found is Tight Bond. I also use Gorilla Glue too, but the Tight Bond does work really, really well, and it holds them tight, and it sets up quite fast. And a bottle goes a long way. And my tip is I would paint each row first before gluing together. That way it's nice and neat and tidy looking. You don't have to be so particular that way painting it. Otherwise you got to be kind of careful when you've got it all glued together. I don't know why I did this this way, but I just did this step, which just caused a little more extra work. But you'll see when I put together the flag as it's all painted, it's just much easier to do. And then what I did was, for the little stars, I just had a stencil with some little stars, took some white glue, or white paint, I'm sorry, and stenciled the stars on there. And I'm just gluing this one together. Like I said, I had painted it first, each row, which makes it a lot easier to put it together and not have to worry about being so careful painting. And I think I got 4 flags out of the box of Jengas. 4 or 5 flags, so not too bad for $1.25. And another thing you could do is, I had thought about, is putting some polyurethane over the top of it to seal it, and you could use them as little coasters. If you have guests coming over, use them for coasters for their drinks. I think that'd be really cute too. And this again too is preference, if you want it to look aged or not. Again, I use the Tim Holtz ink and just age each flag. I think I age it because to me it's just always Old Glory, so I think Old Glory. It's got some age on it. And there you go. There's a little flag. Next are these little firecrackers. These are really easy to make too, and they don't cost much to make. Let me just clean up my stuff and get my little finger protectors on. That hot glue is miserable if you get it on your fingers, for sure. And what I did is I just got a package of, they come 4 in a bag from Dollar Tree. They're bendable curlers, foam curlers. And that's what I used for the inside of the firecrackers. And then I just got some fabric with the red and blue. It's just whatever you prefer. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. And then about 3/4 of the length of the roller I used in one color, which this happens to be the red and the white. And just twist it on there. And then add a little glue to hold it. Then for the remaining 1/4 of the firecracker, I just have this blue fabric. And I'm going to glue that on. And it's that simple. Then what I do is I just take some jute. I got 3 separate rows of it. And then that's going to be the little wicks on the firecrackers. Then what I did is I also made another little tag from some brown cardstock, and I stamped the word Old Glory on it. And I used the little stamps, single stamps. They click together those were from Michael's. I think they were $12 for the whole kit. Then what I do is untwist some of the jute so that way the wick is a little thicker. There, now it's a little thicker looking. And then I have a little extra fabric on the top. What I do is I glue that down so then that way you don't see the end of the roller. Then I take them, put them together, and tie the tag that I made with the jute and tie them together. So there's the little firecrackers. I hope everybody has a safe 4th of July, a fun one, a safe one. And if you've got some time, here's a few little decorations you can make. There you go. Thanks for watching.